Greetings and beyond the new. My name is Omni, and welcome to the current installment of What If Issei Was Reborn with All of His Memories and Powers, Part 3. Now, where we left off, Great Red had just come on the scene, but now we skip to the train station. The whole schools already know that Issei is in a relationship with all the girls of the Occult Research Club, which includes his peerage mates and those in his personal peerage. So, he says goodbye to Rias and Akano and Konako with a kiss on the lips. All the guys fume at this, but they are ignored. While all this was happening, the girls were playing a game of rock, paper, scissors. Scissors who would get to sit next to Issei. Okay, the one sitting next to Issei is the Lolita Fallen Angel girl. And across from him will be his two knights, which are the two members of the Kendo Club. Okay, so and then in the box next to them are the others. Or boxes. Well, anywho. And Issei is right in the middle, so where he's not sitting in the window seat. Sorry, needed to blow my nose. Stupid allergies. Okay, now let's see. You here? Okay. Everything goes like in canon except for the molester cases popping up. So yeah. Okay, we skip ahead to where he meets the leader of the yokai faction's daughter. She asks, "Where's my mother?" Issei would say, "I have no idea where your mother is, but I'd be happy to help rescue her, seeing how you think we have something to do with her kidnapping." She looks into his eyes and sees that he's lived through this before, and then that's when they start preparing to fight the hero faction. Okay. We skip tonight, blah 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 blah. The fight between the brainwashed leader of the yokai faction against the green dragon. Again, while all that was happening, when the descendant of the original So-So and the two descendants of King Arthur and Morgan Le Fay pop out, and then Issei goes into his balance break and uppercuts So-So into the air, and the fight begins. While the fight goes like in canon, but Issei is also peppering him with dragon shots. Then the female descendant of King Arthur and Morgan Le Fay, "Hey, So-So, you said I could shake his hand!" And So-So would say, "Well, excuse me, he's the one who started the fight first." Then she gets all starry-eyed, saying, "I can't believe one of my comrades is actually fighting Issei-sama." She's all starry-eyed and watching the fight while her brother is fighting everyone else. Then she realizes that she should do something, but she's way too enraptured and says, "So-So, also you better let me shake his hand before we leave." So-So says, "Yes, I agree to that," which gives Issei the opening to power dive bomb him, landing two axe kicks to top of his head, which knocks him out. Which then Issei says, "Young lady, so you want something from me?" She stutters, "Yes," and she asks to shake his hand. He obliges her. Then he asks, "Is that all?" Oh? No, could you take a selfie with me? I'd be happy to. You a fan? And yes, I am, she would say. Okay, as soon as she presses the button on her phone to take a selfie with him, in that moment he gives gets her into one arm hug. She She nearly faints at this, but that moment was then captured. Then he makes sure she doesn't faint, which then she says, "This will be a family heirloom." Then her brother says, "I did not agree to this." And then she gives him the Kage death glare, saying, "Shut it, brother." He recoils in fear, and this gives the others the opportunity to free the leader of the yokai faction from brainwashing. So, yeah. Then she says, "So, me and my brother are leaving. Good luck." So says, "What? At the what? What?" Then her brother says, "I did not agree to this." Then she gives him the Kage death glare, saying, "We are leaving, brother." He gets even more fearful of his little sister. Then she grabs his ear and then drags him up by the ear. "We're leaving, brother, now." Then her brother says, "Sister, ear, 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 ear." Which makes sweat drop at this, and then while that was happening, the yokai leader gets freed from the washing while she was also fighting the green dragon getting from Kyoto. Oh, he realized he's outnumbered. "You may have won the war, monsters, but you may have won the battle, monsters, but we won the war." And then he says, "Guys, wait for me!" And then he runs off. Then there's a meeting between the yokai faction and the fallen angels and issei. Then after the meeting's over, she asks her daughter, "So why did you trust the Red Dragon Emperor, my daughter?" She says, "I looked into his eyes and he's lived through all this before." "Oh, really? Then bring him to my chambers." "Mother, what? I'm not going to play the cougar card." "I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking that you would ask him to get the Black Nekashu back into the fold, all the way from the Chaos Brigade." "Oh, well, either way, if he's fine with it." "Mother!" Then she runs off, gets Issei, brings him to her mother's chamber. She stays to make sure she doesn't play the cougar card. Okay, so yeah. Anywho, well, my fair maiden and young lady, so what do you wish to talk about? "Quite the charmer you are," she'd say. "The leader of the yokai," I said. "Okay, so now we get back in. Okay. I hear you are quite the lady killer. Would you..." "Mother, don't play the cougar card," her daughter would say. Now, she's your mother. Other, other, and it's not like I'll get her to forget about you or your deceased father, young lady." "That's not the point. I ain't Mr. Issei." Her mother would say, "Daughter, not now. And wouldn't you like a new father and younger siblings, even though I will never forget my first love, your father?" Issei says, "And I heard of what happened to him. What a tragedy. But at least you got to know him for a year. Right?" "Yes, I did. Since it was a 4-year long curse that took him." while protecting me and Mother when I was born. She would sigh and Mother, please don't play the cougar card. I'm sorry, my dear. He's just too cute. You may leave us now. Mother, no, 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 no. Issei gives her a reassuring smile, saying, Don't worry, I won't get her to forget about you or her husband. Or your father, I mean. And I don't expect you to call me father, other in the future anytime soon. She growls at him and then storms off and slams the door. Then, oh, you think you can tame me, young man? Issei rises and then kneels right in front of her, grabs her into a hug while groping her peach, while also getting her a deep, passionate tongue kiss. Picks her up bridal style and says, "Oh, I'd be more than happy to tame you, my dear." She gets flushed at this and says, "You know, only my husband could get me this way. So, will it just be the two of us?" she asks. "Yes. The other girls know about what I'm doing." Then the night of passion begins. The first ray of sunlight it hits. Then she wakes up saying, "Oh my, you are quite the animal." Issei, using her chest as a pillow, says, "Oh, you have no idea. Yeah. But since I have to go back home, so will you be another one of my brides?" "Yes," she would say. "All right. I believe it's time." "Oh, before you go," she asks, "please hollow out my peach, if you would." "Well, I have an hour to kill," Elise would say. Hour passes, then the yokai faction's leader's daughter sees him off at the train station. Then she goes back to the compound saying, "So, I'm sure you figured it out that I will be one of his brides, will you not, my dear daughter?" She sighs, saying, "Yes, mother. Mother." But don't think. Her mother silences her, saying, "I know, daughter, you don't have to call him father, mother, but just make sure that you'll be the best big sister I know you can be to not only the one he will put in my oven, but also in your future assistant mothers and half siblings." She groans, saying, "Mother, well, I like the idea of having lots of little siblings to play with. Let's get married to him first." "Oh, do not worry, daughter. I plan to." Okay, and on the ride back, Rainier is the one sitting right next to him with his two knights across from him and the others in the other parts of the train that are next to him. So, yeah. Okay, now we get into a get back act. Oh, but on the train ride, Raina asks, "So, She's going to be another one of your brides. Aids? Oh, giving a pouty look to Issei. Yes, Rainier, she is. And no, don't worry, I'm not a pedo. You know this. Rainier scoffs at this. I know that. At darling. Ling. Oh, and that reminds me, Rainier. I'm picturing all of my girls in their wedding dresses. They're all beautiful. He texts this to Rias, who tells Akano and Konako this. Then they all say, all the girls in unison on the train saying, "But you're an Adonis in in your your suit." With the text with Rias texting back saying that Konako and Akanos and I say that you look like an Adonis in your in your in your suit as well. So yeah. Anywho, sorry, needed a burp. Okay. Okay, so now we go. Let's see, what's next after this? Let me think. Okay, that's when another fight in Kuo, the town of Kuo, between the hero. Oh, wait, no. Now we go to the Chaos Brigade's point of view in their base. Ophiuchus summons, I forget her name, but Konako's sister. To ask her who should be the bridge between her and issei, so that way he won't see us as enemies because she already knows that he's lived through all this before. Then she says, "Don't worry, will be the bridge, Age Ophiuchus. Isama?" Ophiuchus glares at her, saying, "And you're not gonna try... Oh, jealous much?" "What? I'm not jealous," Ophiuchus would say. "Oh, really? That I will be able to get into it with him and you can't? I'm sure he wouldn't mind." "Enough. He's way too young for me." "I'm sorry, Ophiuchus-sama. Age is just a number to me." "Well, I will take my leave then." "Farewell." Ophiuchus is left alone at this point, and then she ruminates on Issei taking her. She blushes and gets a nosebleed rocket launching her out of her office window from the base. He said this. Okay. Then we cut to where Issei arrives at Kuo Academy, and Rias confronts him, saying, "So, you added another bride." "What can I say, Rias? A MILF is hard to pass up." Reassize at this. Yes, I figured as much. She would sigh again. And so, now what? Well, Rias, I'm sure you realize that we are going to be attacked again by the hero faction. But don't worry. I I know that the fallen angels and we devils will fend them off. That's when a teleportation circle of the Chaos Brigade pops into the Occult Research Club. They're on guard, which everyone in the Occult Research Club is in there except for Issei's two knights, which are the Kendo Club girls. Then when a sister of his peerage mate comes out, then she explains why she's there. Okay, so now let me refresh. Okay, so the two Kendo Club girls are his knights. His queen is Rainier. His bishop is the Lolita Fallen Angel girl. The rook is the other female fallen angel with the huge rack. The other bishop is the female pervert with the scanning inning ability, only to measure a guy's you know what. That's the other bishop. So there's still the other rook and the 8 pawns. So yeah, after she explains, she's then given the other rook piece, blah 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 blah. Which leaves 8 pawns left over. And then she says, the sister would say, so, would you care to have a little fun on my king? Issei says, sure, but you'll have to wait until night. Oh my, she would say, what a naughty boy. Issei says, oh, you haven't seen or heard anything as naughty as what I'm going to do to you. He would laugh, cock, what I just did. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so anywho, night falls around, and it's only her that's going to be christened. However, he also uses a magic spell to connect. So at the halfway point of their love making, then he reveals that the other girls that are in his harem, along with Erina and his childhood friend and the other bishop of Rias's peerage, have been watching. Then she clenches on his member, which causes Issei to explode. If you know what I mean. But then he gets back in control. And then jackhammers her. And the night is filled with moans of pleasure. So yeah, that's how it's gonna be. So yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna do a bit of episode, or an OVA episode, or filler episode, or a special episode. Okay. So this is where er er okay, so after Konoko's sister joins Issei's personal peerage, they do a live performance of the show that he's the main character of. Everything goes like in canon. And then, except when the boy that is disappointed that I can't see the show, he's not just what happens in canon happens, but he also gives the boy an autograph, graph, F, F, and says, "I know your life can suck, but I know, I can make it a little less sucky by giving this to you, young man." The boy is shocked at this and says, "Thank you, Issei. Or should I call you Lord Issei? I mean, you are dating Lady Rios, aren't you? Are you not?" "Yes, she will be one of my brides," Issei says. The boy says, "One of?" "I will have to let your mother here tell you, give you that talk." Okay. Then after the show, Issei tells Konoko's sister that he's lived through this all before, and that he knows that what really happened, and he's also has reassurances that the yokai faction will not try to go to war with uh with the devil faction over what her former master did. While she's shocked at this, then she pounces on him, peppering his face and chest with kisses. Then the other girls that are a part of his harem pop in and say, "Hey, no fair!" Well, except, yeah, that also includes the yokai faction leader. So, yeah, okay. Now we skip ahead to where the yokai, fallen angels, and angels, all the other mythologies, these that are in canon in the fight between the hero faction along with the Chaos Brigade, fight the hero faction. Everything goes like in canon except when Issei a is confronted by the first Shadow Lizard soldier, I think. Volley is actually helping him defeat all the Shadow Lizard soldiers. Then Issei offers that he'll go into a sparring match, but he'll handle Soso alone. Volley agrees to this. "Just don't die on me before that." Okay, so the battle begins just like in canon, and then everything goes like in canon, and then Issei is told about about the special rating game aim, and that's where I'm going to be leaving up. Like, comment, and subscribe, but I'm not doing this for that. I'm just doing it to get my creative juices out there, unloaded, I should say. And yes, I said that and said it like that. Anywho, bye!